Hi, it's me again, Dr. Anthony VT, your expert behavioral analyst, licensed global coach, and your directional strategist, maximizing your full potential. Now, as you can see, today we're going to be looking at the word adopt. What is the context? Well, the context can be in the context of sales for a company, selling yourself, but you have to understand that before you can start and go anywhere, you have to adopt a positioning, you have to adopt a stance, you have to adopt a strategy. So for you and I to get ahead in life, whether we want to make a success, whether it's in business or our personal life, one thing is for sure, you and I have to adopt a specific stance, a specific strategy that will take us forward. Now, in terms of adopting this strategy, I'm going to teach you the acronym, an acronym that will bring this to light in terms of how to apply it. As you know, this series is all about helping you how to apply whatever we talk about. So adopting a strategy starts with the first word, the word A. Now, the A stands for alert. You and I have to be absolutely alert that's what's happening out there. There are many things happening. People are unscrupulous. People are trying to take the shortcut. There's so many things in the market that is taking us to places where people have never been. For instance, right now, fiat currency is being overtaken by the cryptocurrency in the world. And the people who don't understand the cryptocurrency are totally outright rejecting it. In fact, Warren Buffett in 2014 also himself said, the people will see it as a mirage. Why? Because of the lack of knowledge. But here's the truth. You have to get with the program. And if you want to sell yourself, if you want to put your company in the next positioning, you have to understand how to literally adopt a position or adopt a strategy that's going to help you get ahead by being alert. Being alert as to what is happening out in the market. Right now, I can tell you that there's a whole new movement. Would you believe that the last 20 years, the top 20 jobs that we have in existence today did not even exist? Now, that's what's happening, but by not being alert, you lose out, and per se, you will lose your job. In fact, you would have been forgotten. Therefore, you have to be progressive in being totally alert as to what's happening out in that market. Not only do you and I have to be alert, we also have to make sure that we know what the D stands for. If we go to the positioning of what the D stands for, you and I will have to understand this is what will now encapsulate where this alertness is taking you. You and I will have to literally say to ourselves, direct. How will we direct our attention? How will we direct our purpose? How will we direct what we're about to do? If you're taking your company, you have a vision statement. The statement that says what you want to achieve. Remember that vision is all about what people see. So if you want to achieve sales, take them towards that end vision of what people see, but something that's very important is be direct as to who you are and what you stand for. So many people are not sure. In fact, here's the number one question I'm going to ask you. Be it in personal business, be it in business per se. Who is your ideal client? Are you direct in terms of your approach of who the person is that you would like to speak to? If you don't understand your client, you will not. It's like taking a shotgun and just going boom and just shooting and just hoping that you're going to hit something. But we all know when you play the game of darts, if you want to go for that triple, you have to be very specific and just put it in exactly in the triple. So be direct. This is like aiming for success. First, you have to be alert. Be alert in terms of taking yourself to where you want to be. And then, yes, be direct. Be direct as to who's your target market, who's your client, who do you want to reach, by when. And as it were, you can ask the 5 W's and the H. The H will be how you're going to reach that target market, but what is your target market? Who is speaking to? When will you reach them? And who should you approach? So be very direct in terms of getting that strategy going with the 5 W's and the H. Always a great strategy. Because what we're looking at today is adopting a positioning or a strategy where you and I will take our sales, be it personal, be it business, to the maximum level. So the first thing was you and I need to be alert. The second thing was you and I need to be direct. Now, the O. The O comes back to basically, it's like standing in the right place. You and I need to be founded. And it all comes back to this word. That will be the origin. What was the origin of your initial thought? When you sat and you decided to actually go into business, you had a thought in your mind. You know, it's all about a bartering of services, a bartering of value. Years ago, just imagine yourself, you come off a ship, you take possession of a new land, and you basically have a local community. And the local community sees that you're holding something very shiny in your pocket, and you hand it out to them, and they go like, I like. And you look and say, oh, there's a nice buffalo, and there's an exchange of value. The shiny object that you're carrying in exchange for the buffalo. Now this is exactly what this is about. You have to understand the origin of where the product comes from, the origin of where your decisions come from, the origin of where the idea was created. So often, many people have got ideas, but they never come to fruition. So I want to encourage you. You need to sit down and say, what is inside of you that really drives you? What is inside of you that you say to yourself, I can't sleep. I think about this so often. In fact, I sometimes lie awake at night thinking about this very thing that I want to do. And out of that origin will be birthed your possibility study of what you want to do, finding your ideal client and finding your product that you want to either sell to a market or sell as an individual, be it business or be it personal. It makes no difference. So then, be alert. Make sure that you know what's happening in the market. Be direct. Find out who do you want to approach. Be very specific. Origin. You want to know exactly where you come from and where you're going. Because if you know where you're going, well, then the road is ahead of you. It's like Scott Pegg, the road less traveled. It always has a direction. You know, if you aim at nothing, well, you'll hit it every single time. But if you aim at something specifically, you have to be focused and targeted, because it comes from here. It comes from the origin right up here, from your foundation of who you are and what you want to establish. So in adopting the strategy, be it sales for a company, be it selling yourself as a person, be it selling a little private business, it has the same dimensions. And that is that you have to be alert what's happening out there. You have to be very direct as to who your customer is going to be. You have to understand the origin. But then also, you have to have this one key thing. Without this, nothing is going to happen. You know what that is? The product. If you don't produce a product, there is no ways that you can add value to a needy market. You can have ideas, but if the idea does not translate into something tangible, something that you can sell, I can tell you now, in many countries, you are actually in the contravention of the law, because those countries say that if you want to receive foreign exchange, you have to have a product in exchange. So that old bartering that we spoke about when we started now, that's really what it's about. So you and I want to know, we have to have a product. What are the dimensions of the product that you'd like to go into? Well, that obviously is going to be a study that will take us down a journey of several sessions. But this product is vital for you to know. Put your product out and display it. Make sure that the people know what you want to sell, what is an offer. Now, sometimes this product is not a physical something that you pick off a shelf and pick it up. Sometimes something that you actually have that's virtual. Like for instance, there are so many people that will help you establish your own website. In fact, if you're adopting a strategy to get out to the market today, one of the key things that you have to say to yourself is, how are you going to get there? Well, your product will take you there. Now, if your product is designing websites, that is your product. That will take you to where you want to be. So adopt a strategy that will have meaning. Now we go through the acronym again. A, remember, you and I want to be alert. D, be direct. Understand who you're approaching. O, make sure that you do your recess study in terms of where does this all come from and where is it going. After the origin, you want to look at the product. Because when we have a product in place, we can go anywhere. Your product will make way for you. In fact, you owe the world. It's just putting your product out there. So adopt a strategy today that will really make sense. But lastly, how do we get to conclusiveness when we get to the word adopt? It's all lying in the word T. What you and I have to do is to understand that we have to determine the target market. You can shoot wide. So remember when we said be direct? It's a little bit taking the word direct and now focusing it in. It's like when you're driving at a very, very high speed, what happens to the road in front of you? It literally narrows. and it forces you to focus. Now, this is what the word target does. It brings you and it focuses you in so that you and I know what to do. So when you're adopting a strategy, if you want to be successful in your business, be it in your business, be in your personal capacity, you have to know what is your target market. And that really emanates from the word when I asked, who's your ideal client? So you have to say, what is the dimension? What geographical area am I looking at? What age group am I looking at? Male or female? Gender, race, etc. So look at your target market and start asking those pertinent questions as you adopt a strategy. So as you can see, I merely have come to putting my tongue into the fountain of life here. I'm just licking up that essence of when you want to start any company, be it a huge company, a small company, or even a personal business, you have to adopt a strategy. Be alert as to what's out there. Be very direct in your focus as to who you want to approach. Find your origin. Make sure that you know where you're coming from and what is birthed out of that. Make sure that your product is related to the market. You know, not all products are consumed by everybody that you bring it to, because not everybody wants your product. So make sure that the product that you have is right for the next point, target market. So your product specifically is actually being established, is produced, is being manufactured for a target market. So there we have it. Today I want you to know that you have to adopt a strategy or a positioning that's going to take you to the maximum level. Now remember, I want you to learn every day, lead yourself, and inspire others. This is Dr. Anthony VT. See you next time.